Morning. I am Reggie, Associate Professor, Department of ECE. Today we are going to see about Reflex Klystron Oscillator. What is a Reflex Klystron Oscillator? On completion, students will be able to define Reflex Klystron, need of Reflex Klystron. Reflex Klystron will have a single loop. Both catcher cavity and bunger cavity are in a single loop. So if we will consider the anode voltage and cathode voltage, it can be explained in previous diagram. Reflex Klystron oscillator is a single cavity variable frequency microwave oscillator. Construction. It consists of an electron gun and a filament surrounded by a cathode at negative potential. Focusing electrode are present which insists the electron to travel in linear beam. Electron beam travel the anode which is at positive potential which accelerate the electron and passes through as repeller electrode. As repeller electrode is at negative potential, electron can never reach towards it and redirected towards anode cavity. Due to positive potential, anode cavity is first impaired energy to electron to travel towards repeller electrode, but electrons are directed to cavity by repeller electrode due to negative potential. Now these electrons give more energy to the cavity which induces microwave oscillation in the cavity. So the apple gate diagram indicate how electrons are in repeller space with this bunching at the time. Operation reference electron that passes with the gap with no RF energy induced in the cavity. Early electrons passes through the gap, therefore reference electron experience maximum positive voltage in cavity. Late electrons that passes through the gap after reference electron and experience maximum negative in cavity. Let oscillation are set up with reflected strand due to noise or initial transition. These oscillations are subtended by device operated to be shown through apple gate diagram. The RF voltage produced at a gap on the electron beam to cause velocity modulation. In the apple gate diagram, we will inspect various cases of electrons so that the actual fact of how oscillation are subtended in the tube can understand. Let us consider reference electron and compare it with the early electrons and late electrons so the operation is easily understandable. Reference electron, when wave travel through a cavity, when no RF energy is induced and move through a repeller electrode, which is at negative potential and get reflected back towards cavity, we notice electron is passing from the gap for second time. Electron initially travel with the same cathode voltage, induced velocity where it enter the cavity expelled with RF voltage. So electron travel with high intensity. As cathode is negative potential, reference voltage pass through the cavity where RF voltage is zero. So negative voltage induces in cavity. A negative field is experienced by late electron. So velocity is retarded and return time towards the cavity space is less. All the electrons will catch and form a bunch and travel a single beam so that the bunches of the electron impart maximum energy to the cavity which induces sustained oscillation so that microwaves are generated. From the discussed point, we say that RF oscillation which are induced through the transition and noise act as early electron carry on till date and make the substance the tube. For oscillation to substance, time taken for the electron to travel into repeller space back to cavity before the optimum time. So the optimum time which is given by the mode T is equal to n plus 3 by 4. The return time of the electron with the cavity reflected to 1 by 2. Yeah, T naught be the time for entering the electron, T1 is the time for same electron gap, and T2 is the time for electron returning the gap. So from this, the electron entering the cavity gap at the time Z0 and time T naught is assumed to be uniform velocity. So V naught equal to 2e V naught by m 0.593 into 10 to the power 6 square root of V naught. The same electron leave the gap at Z equal to the time T1. Velocity is equal to V of T1 is equal to square root of 2e V naught by m 1 plus beta I V1 by 2 V naught sin of omega T naught plus theta G by 2. The same electron is forced back to cavity and time T to retard electric potential E equal to VR plus V naught plus V1 sin omega T by L. So when you applied the acceleration formula, you will get md square z by dt square z minus e, which is u vr plus v naught by l. Integrating, we will get dz by t minus e into vr plus v naught ml, which is equal to t1 to t dt. So substitute the value. So you will get the apple gate diagram. So the electron beam is accelerated towards the half cycle and electron beam is deaccelerated towards the half cycle. We will calculate the mode with t is equal to n plus 3 by 2. Transit time for 1 by 3 mode. So and it is return electron being retarded during the half cycle. Using the value substitute and you will get Z equal to minus E VR plus 2 ml T1 T minus T1 the whole square plus V of T1 1 minus T plus K2 on the assumption that the electron leave the cavity gap is equal to D and time T1 with the velocity of V of T1 return the gap is equal to D. So 0 equal to minus E VR plus V naught 2 ml T2 minus T1 the whole square by T1 minus T2. The round trip transit in repeller region is given by T naught dash is equal to 2m L V naught into 2 VR plus V naught. It is a round trip DC transition time. Multiply equation by radian frequency. So omega T2 minus T1 is equal to T10 plus x dash sin of omega T1 minus theta g. It is a round trip DC transmission. So x dash equal to beta V1 by 2 V naught by T. This is a bunching process of reflect Klystron. Power and output. So the maximum energy to the oscillation, the returning electron we must go with the cavity graph. By this E key can be transferred. For maximum energy transfer, the round trip transmit angle also center of the bunch. So you will calculate the value. The current modulation of the electron when re-enter the cavity for the repeller field can be determined the same by two cavity klystron. The beam current or reflector can be written as I2 equal to 2 I naught by J1 of x. DC power supply PD equal to V naught into I naught. So PA is equal to V1 I2. So substitute this value V1 by 2 x dash beta 2 NN minus pi by 2. So when you substitute, efficiency can be computed PAC by PDC equal to 2 x dash J1 of x dash by 2 pi n minus pi by 2. So efficiency you will get around 22.7, which is very less. So theoretical efficiency will be at 22-30%. For a given beam voltage, the power in terms of reflector value can be calculated. The output power and frequency are the characteristics of reflect depend upon the mode. Reflect klystron with bunching parameter. So equivalent circuit of reflect klystron is as shown, where L and C are the energy storage device, G will represent the copper cavity, GB is the beam loading, and GT is the load conductance. So you will get G is equal to GC plus GB plus GG 1 by RH. So substitute it here, you will get Y is equal to G plus JB. Is equal to 9. So electronic admittance diagram also is shown with respect to non-linear values. So consider one problem here. You are considering the repeller voltage and the gap voltage and derive the condition. Substitute here, you will get VR equal to 250 volt and I naught equal to 11.45 ampere. Thank you.